and got an extra 97 pesos out of us. I'm still upset. I gotta cool off. Lord knows I need a couple of beers.
Our destination is Veracruz. This will be a fairly long ride, riding a minimum of 6 hours eastward to the Gulf of Mexico. No hurricanes, please. We'll stop by Chignahuapan and Xalapa along the way to rest up and take a few photos. Then finally arriving just north of the city of Veracruz to camp for the night.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome to day 9. It is Monday afternoon, and just stopping here in Xalapa on our way to Veracruz. This is an amazing ride. We left Zacatlan this morning. Got a beautiful view of the gorge. On our way out, had 2 very good night rest in Zacatlan, and had just a beautiful breakfast this morning downtown Zacatlan. We're being entertained here with some music at the local MEX here in Mexico, which is very typical. So we're feeling really good. We're about halfway on our way to Veracruz. We're gonna make it there a little bit later this afternoon. I think there's 2 or 3 hours left ride. We just stopped for a little break here. But absolutely gorgeous ride through the twisties. A few trucks to pass, but no biggie. Feeling really good, and it has been cool. Got stopped by a police check, and had the pleasure of speaking with them this morning, and they told me we're at 3,200 meters. I'm guessing that's about 10,000 feet. So it's been pretty cool. It's gone down to 16-17 degrees Celsius. And but that's really good riding weather, and it's just fantastic here. But it is a little cloudy. I hope it's not going to rain. But windy, twisty, and the roads are extremely scenic. Just beautiful mountains that we're going through. We decided not to be too aggressive on the river route, and that really paid off. We're making good distance so far today, and we were able to have a leisurely exit from Zacatlan de las Manzanas this morning, and to get this beautiful entertainment here in the gasolinera Pemex here in Mexico. So we're feeling really good after my energy drink, and I don't feel any more flu symptoms at all. I feel so energetic, so life is good, and I don't know, just riding a motorcycle just makes me feel so wonderful. So a really good experience here in Mexico. So we will press on for a few more hours, and I'll check in with you as we enter Veracruz later this afternoon.
Okay, so the final priority we focused on for this trip is focusing on the planning of the route. And that is especially important here in Mexico. We do not have any Butler maps to reference. And a lot of the roads, especially being non-toll roads, the free roads that I talked about earlier about being low budget on this trip, the free roads that we're going to take sometimes can be a lower quality than the toll roads themselves. So we have to be especially concerned, especially the fact that we are traveling to two of the highest peaks, two of the highest mountains here in Mexico, and we're going, 14, 15, 16,000 feet in altitude, so that could be as high as 5,000 meters, and a lot of the roads at that height are not the best traveled roads, and we don't want to be too aggressive for our route planning because all of the motorcycles have street tires, and it's just not that aggressive of a ride that we were searching for. We have 4,500 kilometers, that's what, about 3,000 miles to cover in these 2 to 3 weeks. So we cannot be going too crazy on off-roads that are going to slow us down significantly. So there's a number of factors here that we have to consider with our road planning. And sure enough, we use a multitude of different online techniques to plan the route. I prefer Reaver. I've got my route app as well, and different online techniques. My Drive that my TomTom uses. I've got the sat nav unit, and of course all of the apps that we use on our cell phones. So it's going to be a combination of different techniques that we're going to be using, that we have used in planning this route up until this point. And I will let you know how things proceed as we approach Veracruz. So topography is very important as well. With the altitudes I've mentioned, it can affect people and clients. I've seen it many times where we have less oxygen. We're typically at a higher altitude here than what you may be used to in your home country, and that can have a significant impact on our bodies as well. So there's a number of different variables here that we have to consider, all in being very, very flexible through the trip to Mexico, through the trip to Veracruz and back, because we don't want to have that built up pressure that we have to get to our destination that particular day. It really all depends on how we feel. Sometimes we might want to hold back and stick around in certain cities, certain areas that are more scenic, and other times we might be feeling good and we'll do more mileage in that particular day. So there's a lot of flexibility in the route planning as well, and we want to avoid high traffic areas as well on top of all that, because Mexico has 2 or 3 very large cities where there can be a lot of congestion, and we definitely do not want that as we travel to Veracruz. So stay with us, and I will share with you the details of our route planning as we proceed. So wish us luck. Okay, here we are in Veracruz. We made it in one day traveling here from Zacatlan de las Manzanas, and it was quite cold. About half of the trip was cold. It was about 15 degrees, 20 degrees, relatively cold here in Mexico. But the twisties and the paved roads that we decided to take were just awesome. Really, really happy with the route that we had planned. In particular, going through Xalapa here in Mexico. It's absolutely stunning city. It kind of reminds me of Polanco in Mexico City, and Zapopan in Guadalajara. Just very, very scenic. It was a pleasure riding through Xalapa. But after that, it dropped in altitude, and it got like 20 degrees Celsius warmer through the afternoon. So it was just amazing. I passed a lot of trucks. There are a lot of heavy trucks, a lot of speed bumps, so they slowed down quite a bit for that. So what a beauty it is riding a motorcycle through the twisties and through Mexico. It's just incredible. We decided not to take unpaved roads, which, as you can see by some pictures that I'm gonna post, was actually kind of scary in terms of the altitude, going through some of the small towns and over mountains. So we didn't want to take any particular risks. We wanted to get here fairly early in the day. Rain was pending, but you know, this is what day is it today? It's Monday. I think it's day 11 of our trip, and we have been so lucky because there has been no rain. I was so ready to put on my rain gear going through Xalapa, which is quite weatherable city, but no, we were spared and rode a little bit further, and it got a lot warmer through the afternoon. Right now I'm in Veracruz at the beach. Just had some fish tacos, a couple of beers. Gonna set up our camping equipment here and spend 2 nights here, just north of downtown Veracruz, and then on Wednesday we will head south in Veracruz and find another ecological park called Natsiaga, which is the sorcery capital here in Mexico. So I'm looking forward to that and getting my cleansing done. Should be a lot of fun, but we are just so relaxed here in Veracruz. I'm just watching the motocross and the ATVs scoot across the beach here as we are relaxing for the afternoon. So stay with us. It was an awesome day today.
No, you can't eat my GoPro. No. Aren't you friendly?
One thing I wanted to point out before I forget, you know, I was watching my air pressures through the day. So as I mentioned earlier, and as we all know as motorcycle riders, air pressures are absolutely so critical for the performance of our traction and riding the twisties. So I knew that it was going to get warmer, and I knew that the pressures were going to go down as we approach the Gulf of Mexico. That being said, when I started this morning in Zacatlan, it was cold and it was high. It was high altitude. In fact, we went up to 3,200 meters, according to some policemen that we met on the way. So pressure changes quite a bit, and now we're at sea level,
So pressure goes down here and the temperature goes up. So what does that all do to our tire pressures? Well, as you can see through some of the video footage that I take on my GoPro on the chin of my helmet, I mount my cell phone with the air pressure showing at all times, so I can see it right in front of me. I'm not guessing, and I have that Bluetooth connection to my helmet, so if I exceed the maximum or go below the minimum tire pressure that I set, I get an automatic alarm in my helmet, in my PackTalk Cardo unit, and it's very loud and it's very alerting, so to speak. So that being said, I thought I needed 1 or 2 psi when I left Zacatlan this morning, being at about 35-36 psi rear and low 30s in the front, which is a little lower for me. So but I did remember that temperatures are going to increase and altitudes are going to decrease through the trip, and as you can see through the trip, my air pressures actually went up significantly as we rode here to the Gulf of Mexico. So in the end, my rear was like 44 roughly psi, and the front was 36, 37, which is just fine. So I'm glad I did not put more tire pressure, more air pressure in the tires, because then it would have been excessive through the trip. So my point being, you have to kind of plan ahead your tire pressures and monitor them as you travel throughout the country of Mexico. So just be aware, be conscious of that, and manage your tire pressures for sure. Well, good morning. We are just wrapping up here this morning, about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, at this beautiful beach in northern Veracruz. We are on our way to the Gran Café, historical place called La Parroquia. It's not a church, it's not a parish, not a cathedral, but we're going there for breakfast this morning. Gonna have a café lechero, which is very traditional here in Veracruz. Was a relaxing night last night. Had a few young people come and party again last night, so I had to put the earplugs in. So eventually got some sleep, and woke up a little bit later this morning as a result of that. But looking forward to the day. We're going to check out a beautiful waterfall as well along the way, and just enjoying the solitude here in Veracruz on this beautiful beach in the Gulf of Mexico. There is a storm coming, apparently. I just saw it on the radar last night. I think it's a few days away, so we'll keep you posted as we go. So as today we are heading to our final destination in Catemaco, our witchcraft sorcery capital of Mexico, so stay with us. Okay, before putting your boots on in Mexico, check to see what's inside first. Check this out. I couldn't put my right foot in the boot. I'm just getting ready to go, and got a little obstacle here. I gotta get him out.